Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the show at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila. Invite your friends and family. Get cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Sister Laila live show. And remember, this is where you can come here and ask your questions about Islam. And inshallah, I'll try to get them answered. If there's a question that I can't answer, which there just might be, there always is, don't forget I have Sheikh Morsi, inshallah, on standby that I can call. And also we have Dr. Ibrahim Daramali, so inshallah, feel free to ask whatever questions you may have, and we can get them here. And just to let the people know, for those of you on Facebook, blue and pink doesn't, we got to be color coordinated, y'all. Come on now. That blue and pink ain't gonna get it. Let's just get this color coordinated. That's that OCD in me. That's better. Everything has to match. For those of you that are on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Instacart, and Rumble. All you have to do, and Facebook, of course, all you have to do is type your question on the screen, and I should be able to see it, and I can, inshallah, answer it. Also, don't forget our Zoom room is open. And let me do this. What's this called again? Ask Sister Laila. I like this. Wait a minute. Ask Sister Laila. You can join our Zoom. You can call a number in if you want to use a phone. What's the number? 862-370-2838. Or you can join our Zoom room at www.Sunnahfollowers.net if you want to ask your question on the mic. Did I put it there? Let's see how that looks. I like that. See that? That's purple. See, that's pink. I got to change this color, guys. Give me a second. I can't handle that. Sorry. That's too pink. I'm not that. No, that's got to go. Let's bring it down some. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that's how you can get your question asked. You can call.
That's the wrong number.
Oh, it says 29. Yeah, it should be 28. Hold on. Y'all know I got a problem with typing. What can I say? So what I got to do? Type it all over again? Oh, okay. This is ask. Wait a minute. Ask Sister Laila. 862-370-2838. Okay, or let's just write Sunnahfollowers.net for Mike. There you go. Let's try it again. How that look now? Okay. There you go. There's the number. 862-370-2838. Or if you want to use a microphone, go to Sunnahfollowers.net. Click on Zoom room. That'll bring you into the Zoom room. You can type your question there. But if you're going to use our Zoom room, do not private message me. I don't accept private messages. Number one. Number two, Sister Famay will be the one to read the questions from the Zoom room. So just type it on the screen and she'll read your questions to me. And like I said, on all the other platforms, you can just type them here on the screen and we'll get them answered. And by the way, before we start the questions, what do you guys think about the Mekhalsidic Tafsir class I'm doing? I was looking on Facebook. One of the weekly questions it asks is, what did you enjoy the most about this website? this week, and my answer is I really enjoy as a teacher teaching the Hasidic Tafsir. That book by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, I've been wanting to teach it for years, and I love it. That has become one of my favorite books. What do you guys think? Am I breaking it down for you guys in a good way? Hasidic and what Hasid, Hasidy, and Hasid is. What do you guys think of that class? Do you like how, as Muslims, we're supposed to reach high, set goals? When we talk about Maqasid, we're speaking about setting high goals for ourselves, the goal of understanding this religion as correctly as we can, and then implementing it in our life so that we can get closer to Allah and have a better ending, and all of that. You guys like that class? And I really apologize for yesterday. We had some technical issues, and but I will teach that class tomorrow. I had to stop the class yesterday due to some technicalities that were beyond my control, that I pray I don't have to deal with ever again. Okay? But I'll teach the class tomorrow, inshallah. What do y'all think of that class, though? Anybody? Y'all like, am I breaking it down, Fresno?
Yes, it's a really good class, and you break it down really well. I've actually been trying to use it in my, trying to implement it into my life now, because it's important that we always try to reach, like you said, the higher goal, the higher aim, and everything that we do.
MashaAllah, exactly. And I've been trying to apply it to myself too. That's why I like that class too, because it's like I'm teaching it to you guys, and I'm also reinforcing it with myself, because like we talked about, the way to handle the trials of life, the more understanding we have of this deen, the more understanding that we have of what our purpose is, we can grasp strength to handle the disappointments of life. Because, and by the way, let me address this. This is an email that I got earlier today from one of the new people here. I don't know this sister personally, but the sister has been following me on YouTube, she said, for a while. And she was talking about how life is so disappointing. And I hope she's listening. I told her to make sure she tune in, because that's welcome to the real world. All of us, life is nothing but a one big letdown for all of us. You think that you are the only one who feels disappointed in life? This world is nothing but a prison for the believer, guys. There is no happiness here. Who told you that because you said you believe in Allah, that you're guaranteed happiness? Allah says in the Quran, the believer will never experience happiness until he crosses that bridge into paradise. So this world is filled with nothing but one disappointment after the other. I've been disappointed my whole life. Subhanallah, nothing. I don't have nothing in this world, but who cares? Inshallah, we'll have it all in the hereafter, And like I tell you, sisters, so many of you sisters get depressed about marriage. This is normal. I'm a woman too. I get depressed about it too. I wished I was married too. I talk a big game. But believe you me, any woman that tells you, let me just keep it real, don't get it twisted. Any woman that tells you that she's happy by herself is a liar, because Allah did not create us to be by ourselves. We learn to accept his qadr. We learn to accept his decree. We learn to make the best of our horrible situations. But happy because you're by yourself? That's an oxymoron. Every woman wishes that she had a mate that she could lie with and be with and to hold her. But I'm sorry, sisters, it's just Not in the cards for a lot of us. But don't feel bad about it. If you don't have a husband in this world, you will have one in paradise. And that's what I tell you, sisters. If Allah doesn't get you married in this world, that's because he got better plans for you. There's someone better up there waiting on you. Maybe it's the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe it's Jesus. Maybe it's Adam. Maybe it's Abu Hurairah. Maybe it's Abu Sufyan. Maybe it's Khalid bin Walid. So you have to think positive, sisters. That's what I do. That's shaitan. When your personal jinn starts whispering into your heart, trying to get you to go down that dark, depressing, miserable, and I can speak about it because I've been there, sister. I go there at least once a week. That depressing road of loneliness, that depressing road of need. Don't y'all look at my Facebook profile? Can't y'all see what I'm going through? My best friend Latifah know what I'm going through. What's on my Facebook profile? Can anybody tell me what my Facebook profile consists of? I'm your teacher. You guys should be able to know what type of mood I'm in. What is on my Facebook profiles, guys? What have I been posting up lately that y'all have never seen me post before? What have I been posting? What? Come talk about it. What?
Werewolves.
And what else? I mean, what do you think of all that? That should be a sign to you guys or something. What does it tell you about Layla? What is Layla? Latifah could tell you what I'm going through. Friends know what am I going through. You look at my Facebook profile. I'm going through some daggone depression. Oh yeah. Look at my Facebook. I got all that fantastical stuff of, flying horses and flying, what is that? Tigers. Y'all see the tigers and with the, to protect you, the beasts. And girl, that's a sign of where Layla is mentally. I'm about as lonely as they get, but that's how I fight it. When you find yourself as a Muslim woman going down that road of loneliness, wishing that you had a husband, that's your personal jinn playing on you. But you're going to have to fight through it because you don't want to end up suffering from Shirk el-Ashgar. What is Shirk el-Ashgar? Does anybody know? What is Shirk el-Ashgar? Anybody? What is Shirk el-Ashgar? Brother Tazri, what's Shirk el-Ashgar? Yasmin, do you know?
I was gonna say when you put your fear of anxiety, your emotions over.
You're kind of close. Sure. Y'all kind of close. That's a form of disbelief. It means to be discontent with the decree of Allah. This is the minor form of shirk, guys, where you can't accept the qadr of Allah. Your personal jinn is going to push you to be discontent with your situation because Allah commands us to change the condition of ourselves instead of succumbing to it. Instead of giving in to loneliness, you're supposed to get unlonely. Instead of giving in to depression, get out of that depression. To sit there and complain and be unhappy with your situation, this is Shirk el-Ashgar. And should you die in that state, the angels are going to ask you, why didn't you do something to change it? Well, it's hard. You can't find a husband. You can't make somebody marry you. You can't make a man just come down out the sky and whisk you up off your feet. Who's the perfect man who practices the deen and all of that other stuff. So what I do when I start getting those feelings, I've been single a long time, 25 years? When I start going through that, I get to writing in my books, my fantastical books, and then I'll get into my flying horses and all that stuff to take my mind out of that. And then I remind myself that there's good in everything. I'm a good woman. I'm a beautiful woman. So maybe the reason why Layla is single is because the Prophet Muhammad wants me. That's what I tell myself. I'm a strong woman. I love Allah. I'll die for Allah. I don't put nothing before him. Not my children, not my mother. No one goes before Allah. So maybe the Prophet Muhammad said, Allah, I want Layla. So that's why I'm single. You got to think of the good stuff like that, sisters. Look at life that way. Pull yourself up out of that loneliness and depression. Pick up a hobby. My hobby is writing. Whenever I get a chance to do it, I don't get a chance to do it because I'm on here teaching all day. But don't succumb to that. That's shirk el-eshkar, to be discontent. And also look at the blessings in life. Look at the good things you do have going on in life. Don't let your personal jinn women take you down that road of depression and loneliness and despair. Because once you go down that road, it's hard to come back from it. And you will end up making a mistake. You will end up becoming desperate, and you will end up marrying some loser off of Facebook. Hello! You will end up succumbing to some joker off of Facebook who's going to do nothing but take you for a ride to hell. Seriously. So be careful of that. All right, we got some questions here. Family, are you able to see the first of them? I've been talking so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first question is, I would like to know about the prayer known as Dua al-Badr. Is it permissible? I see so many Muslims doing that.
Is it on YouTube? The question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to find it so I can read it because I couldn't understand what she's saying about. Oh, this NF person? Okay, Dua al-Badr. What is Dua al-Badr? I'm going to be honest. I've never heard of a dua called al-Badr. What does that mean in English? It sounds like some Shiitism. Do you know what dua is? Supplication. El is the. Badr is the battle of Badr. What are you asking for? What type of supplication? What is this in English? Can you give me the English transliteration? Because I don't know what you mean by Badr. Can you say it in English? Molly, how are you? Okay, I got a question here on the Call In Ask Sister Laila live show. And here you're live on the show, and I don't know what she's talking about. The sister wants to know, she says, I would like to know about the prayer known as Dua al-Badr. Is this permissible? I see so many Muslims doing it. I've never heard of it.
What salah? What kind of salah?
That's what I'm saying. She said Dua al-Badr, like the battle of Badr. I've never heard of that either.
That is absolutely, I've never heard about it myself too.
So this must be some innovation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I've never heard anything called al-Badr except the battle of Badr. So, sister, and this is Dr. Jamali's specialty, is supplication and prayer and stuff. If he's never heard of it, are you a Shiite or anything like that, sister? Are you a Shiite or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never heard of that. Okay. Well, you're going to be at home, right? If I need you again, I'll call you back, okay? Okay. Yeah, that must be some other sect or group because I've never heard of it. So I don't know what it is. And Jamali doesn't know either. So it might be some innovation, Sister NF. Maybe you can say what it is in English because I've never heard of that either. Okay, next question. Go ahead to the next question. Can a woman do Uber? Can a woman be an Uber driver, or do you mean be a dude Instacart Uber? Let me answer both of them. As far as being an Uber driver, and remember, as Muslim women, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we can become attacked or taken advantage of. A woman as a taxi driver. These are the type of professions that women need to stay away from for our protection. I'm not going to tell you it's haram, but I'm going to ask you, what about your safety, especially in 2024, especially living in America? Do you know how many Uber drivers are killed and they're men? Look how many men are robbed and killed as an Uber driver. Why would a Muslim woman put herself in that situation? Now, in regards to door dashing, Instacarting, you can do that, but I will tell you to do it like the other Muslim women and non-Muslim women I know do. Have someone with you. In fact, being an Instacarter or a door dasher is good because you work your own hours. You can take your kids with you. You ain't got to worry about babysitting. My daughter, when she was going to nursing school, she was door dashing and Ubering. She had all 6 of her kids in the car with her. Oh, yeah. I went with her a couple times, too. It was kind of fun. Plus, she made $200 in 1 hour. Okay. So don't do it by yourself. If you're going to be a door dasher, an Instacarter, this stuff is permissible, but use your intelligence. There's a lot of women here where I live who are Muslims, and they DoorDash, they Instacart, they bring me my coffee, but they are never by themselves. They got their sons with them. I had an older lady the other day. She was a Muslim woman from Syria. I said, "You're from Syria? What you doing DoorDashing?" She said, "I got my grandsons. I got protection." She said, "I got a lost angels and I got my big grandsons with me." So yeah, just have somebody with you. You know, but yes, you can do it. Just don't do it by yourself. Even the non-Muslims. I had another door dasher who was a young girl going to school for college. This is how she puts herself through college. But she said, "Ma'am, I never door dash by myself. I got my roommates with me." Her and her roommates are together. So yeah, you can do that. Just don't be alone, because the world is a bad place today. People get popped. People getting popped just walking down the street. Yeah, so and Allah knows best, but no, it's not haram. Just use your intelligence. Okay, next question. Goldie, what is this about? Wait a minute, let me go to the top. Make sure I didn't skip anybody. Hold on for 1 second, guys. I see Goldie. Let me make sure I didn't skip. Oh, wait. Brother Idris. Oh, Brother Idris. Walaikum salam. Good to see you again. Let's see. It's been a while. Let's see who else we got. Oh, you like the class too, Sakina? MashaAllah. By the way, did y'all see that I changed my Facebook profile? We're almost done with the second book. This last book of the series, Diluting Wala wal Bara. We're going to go back to Get to Know Your Lord. So make sure those of you who have not yet purchased the book that you purchase Get to Know Your Lord, because we're going to go back to that book. A lot of you weren't here for it. So yeah, pull that book out. Good job, Miss Jackson. That's what you do. Okay, David, is it about marriage? Let's see. Oh, David's kind of, lower your gaze, Layla. Lower your gaze, twins. David's kind of handsome there, twins. Okay, it's what about marriage, David? I put his picture down. He better lower his gaze. He'll need his wife coming after me. Okay. What do you mean? Is what about marriage? The Makasset? No. Wow. Look at David. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Goldie, she said, when I was a widow suddenly at 35, it was horrible. Oh man, lawmaker, yeah, that girl. Hubby is overseas 5 weeks with the company, so I'm sticking here so I don't fall short. Exactly, Sister Goldie. You know what your weaknesses are. You know, you don't want to end up like I put that brother David's picture down. Brother David, ooh, lower your gaze. I had to let it go. Don't want to fall into sin. Let's see what else we got here. What else? Yeah, Sophia, you can. Sophia, I wouldn't recommend being a driver. No, I wouldn't recommend it. That's too dangerous, Sophia. In fact, here where I live, it was in the news. Some woman and her and another person in the car got killed. Yeah, I wouldn't be a driver, Sophia. No, that's too dangerous. But if you're gonna Instacart or DoorDash or Uber food, do that, but do it with somebody with you. Yeah, I wouldn't be a driver if I were you. It's too dangerous. People crazy nowadays. Yeah, people are just really crazy. It's too much happening in the world. Exactly. Subhanallah. Okay, I see it. Here's a question here from my little Rumbo people. I'm looking on this other computer at it. Can you spell that better? Oh, she's asking about the adhan. Adhan, that's the call to prayer, and the iqamat. She's asking me, can I explain the difference again? Okay, I didn't know what you were typing. Okay, the adhan, that is the call letting the people know that the time for the prayer has arrived. The time for Maghrib has arrived. The time for Isha has arrived. The iqamat is called when you're getting ready to pray. It means we're getting ready to pray right now. Everybody line up. It means, come on, kids, line up. We're getting ready to pray with Abu. Okay? We're getting ready to pray. Yeah, so iqamat means is what you call right when you're getting ready to pray. You understand the difference now? You spelled it a way I never seen before. Okay. Yeah, but I understand. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the adhan. And remember, guys, she's asking, I'm going to answer that too. She's asking too, does the adhan have to be called at home? She wants to know if should her son call the adhan at home for each prayer? The answer is no, he doesn't have to, because that's what your local mosque does. The mosque calls the adhan 5 times a day, and he's calling the adhan for everyone that lives in that city. Yeah, he's calling the adhan for everyone who lives in that city. So your son doesn't have to, unless you just want to teach him. Now, if you want your son to call the adhan so he can learn how to pronounce it and all that, that's fine. But he doesn't have to. Okay, but I know a lot of parents, a lot of the women have their sons do it to teach them how it's done. And remember, guys, that falls on you, the parent. It's your job as the mother to make sure your children know these things. Your job more so than the husband, because it's your husband's job to go out and work. It's your husband's job to work 2, 3, 4 jobs if he has to. So the education, it falls on you. The education of the children falls on you. Don't get it twisted. It falls on the women, not the men. That's why you brothers need to be very, very careful marrying women. And that's a debate that I might do that here for this. They were having a debate. Is it better to marry a woman who's a convert or a woman who already knows her deen? That's the difference. The woman that already knows her deen knows how to present. Is supposed to know, because 9 times out of 10 they don't. She's supposed to know the basics of this religion and should already know that it's her job to teach your children. But unfortunately, there's no difference between a convert and a born Muslim nowadays. There ain't no difference. Exactly. Yes, it's your job. She's asking me, it's your job to teach the children. Yeah, so, try to teach him the adhan and teach him the iqamat, teach him how to pray. Your daughters too. And then when your husband comes home, have them pray with you and pray with him. Technically, guys, this is a good question. And by the way, I'm going to cover all of this in our series on how to pray. Technically, the sunnah prayers, your husbands should be performing the sunnah prayers at home. The obligatory prayer should be prayed at the mosque. That's what the Prophet ﷺ would do. He would make his sunnahs at home with the family. But he'd pray the obligatory prayers at the mosque. That's that hadith about not turning your home into a graveyard. So technically, if your husband comes home from work, he should, make his sunnah prayers at home and the obligatory prayers at the mosque. So he can pray the sunnah prayers with the young boys in your home, with your sons. Teaching them that way. That's how the Prophet did Anas. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, said the Prophet would wake him up for the witr. He'd pray the witr prayer with him. Exactly. Yeah, she said, well, yeah, the religion is very easy. It's very easy. Islam is simple. We just have to learn it the correct way. Okay, are there any questions in the Zoom room, Fame?
No, none here.
Okay, alhamdulillah. In fact, let me do this too.
What if the local mosque, they don't make any adhan for any of the prayers because they don't have imam? Then do you make adhan for every prayer?
Yes. Yeah. If you don't have a mosque that's making the adhan, then you call the adhan. Yes. Yeah, exactly. That the brother's asking the same question she asked. Right. Yeah, you call the adhan. Yeah, we talked about your situation, brother. You live out in the country, right? You're the only Muslim. Okay, he said he's a country boy and they live out, he has a farm. They live in the country. There's no other Muslims near him. Okay, well, you know what happens is, should there be a Muslim that moves to your town, that's when congregational prayer becomes a must. And we're going to go over that in the How to Pray class too. The Prophet ﷺ said, whenever there are 2 or more Muslims together, then congregational prayer becomes an obligation. So what we talked about before with you, you're going to take your barn, say that there's a new man in town, a new family. It's a man, Muslim man, Brother Main. Brother Main just moved in town. What you're going to do is turn your barn into a place where y'all can meet together to pray. You will go and introduce yourself to Brother Main, shake his hand, and say, hey, party at my house 5 times a day. I'm going to turn my barn, part of my barn, into a praying niche. And we can meet together and do prayer and talk about the deen, and all of that. Exactly. So if somebody else moves into your town that's Muslim, congregational prayer, y'all got to turn that burn, or he can turn his burn. Exactly. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Subhanallah. Okay, here's another question here. I can share hers. Fardausa. Walaikum salam, Fardausa. It's good to see you here again. Fardausa said, Sister Laila, is food that contains a small percentage of alcohol considered haram, like egg, bread, or cookies? Yes, it's haram. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whatever intoxicate a little, intoxicate a lot. Okay, so anything that has alcohol in it, we can't eat it. Even if it's 1%. If it's 1% alcohol, it's still haram. So you just avoid that type of stuff. And in 2024, this should not be a problem for you Muslims. I'm going to tell you why. Because living here in America, the FDA requires that the ingredients are put on the back of every product that you eat. So you just read the label, and that's the end of it. If it says 1% alcohol, put it back. And usually next to it is non-alcohol. Okay, because not every, you can always buy the same thing in non-alcohol version. Because that's another law that passed in America years ago. Because a lot of people don't drink alcohol. You got the Jehovah Witnesses, the LDS, and the 7-Day Avengers, whatever you call them, the Avengers. Because of them and the laws they passed, they got to have non-alcohol products, and America does. So there's no excuse for it. And if you don't know, Allah don't hold you accountable for it. What does that mean? That means you ain't got to go researching. You ain't got to be that haram committee where you think that you got to walk around with a phone attached to your hip. And every time you go shopping, you got to call the number, the 1-800 number, to see what they put in there. No, we don't have to do that. Just read the label and keep it moving. And Allah knows best. Okay, if it doesn't mention alcohol, that means it ain't got none in it. That means it's good and clean. If the cookie or cake doesn't have mention alcohol, say Alhamdulillah. That means ain't no alcohol in it. That means we can eat it. That's the kind we eat, Miss Jackson. We eat the cookies and candy that don't have alcohol mentioned. That's the kind you look for. Alhamdulillah. I eat cake and cookies that don't have alcohol in it too. That's how we eat. You get the kind that don't have it. Because they don't put alcohol in everything, guys. That's the point I was making. That's the kind we get. Sister Miss Jackson, you can buy vanilla that doesn't have alcohol in it, don't you? I make banana pudding. I make some of the best banana pudding that you ever had in your life. And I use vanilla extract. I use organic vanilla extract, and it doesn't have no alcohol in it. You can buy vanilla extract without alcohol, right? It's right on the shelf next to the alcohol. They put them side by side now. They have the kind with alcohol, and next to it is organic, and next to it is non-alcohol. You can buy it. You just gotta. That's weird. They're right there in all the grocery stores I go to. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You can thank the 7-Day Avengers, the LDS, and the Mormons. Because of them, a lot of stuff them don't have alcohol in it because they don't eat that stuff either. Yeah. Muslims ain't the only one. Christians ain't supposed to do alcohol either. Okay. Is that dude? Hey, Mina, there your dude is. He ain't been here in a while. The one that we blocked on the phone.
I see. They got him. Hey, you doing your business?
He's back, huh? He can't make no more phone calls, but oh, look how that's how he looked. He kind of looked like that actor. You know, the one with the accent that played in that movie with Beyonce. You know. He played in This Christmas too. Him. You know, he also played in the Avengers as the black man that made the travel happen. There he is. He looked just like him.
Okay, you got some questions here.
Okay.
Let me start with the first one. What is the ZamZam water? I heard it's water from paradise. Is this true?
The ZamZam water is water that comes out of the ground here in America. I mean, in the earth. It's in Saudi Arabia. That's the well of ZamZam. That's the well that the angel Jabril dug up with his heel. When Abraham, alayhi salam, left his wife Hajar in the desert, she ran between the two mountains of Safa and Marwa looking for water. And Allah sent the angel Jabril who dug up the well from the ground. And as the water started gushing out, Hajar tried to catch it, and it was so much she said, "Zem, zem, zem." Hajar was Egyptian, and zem, zem, zem is not an Arabic word. Zem, zem, zem in a Coptic language means stop, stop, stop. And that's the ZamZam well. It's still there, and when you make Hajj, you get to drink from it. It's not in paradise, it's right here on earth. Okay, and Allah knows best.
The next question is, if I'm teaching my son how to pray, but he doesn't know the Fatiha yet, can he say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar throughout the whole prayer?
And now it depends. Does he know how to say Simi Allahu liman hamidan, Rabbana wa lakal hamd? You say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, you know, for those things you haven't learned yet. You understand? So if he hasn't learned the Fatiha yet, then he'll raise his hands, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, and then he can make his dua. And then, but if he knows how to say Sami Allahu liman hamidan, Rabbana wa lakal hamd, he say that. If he doesn't know how to say that, then he say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah until he learns it. You understand? When he learns the other stuff, he says what he's supposed to say. But that's for what he doesn't know how to say yet. The Fatiha, the Tashahud, until he learns the Tashahud and all of that. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead.
The next one says, is it okay if the woman and her father visit the man's house before marriage to make sure she has a good place to stay?
Yes, long as she's with her father. Her father is her guardian and he's her mahram. So yes, she can, long as she's with her father, yes, she can visit. That's a smart thing to do. That's how it's done in Islam. And we have a person here, a new convert. Let me put hers. I just converted to Islam and all I find is having to learn Arabic. Well, this is not what you should be learning. Who told you that you need to learn Arabic? I am an Arab and I don't speak Arabic. And I know my deen better than a lot of people who do speak Arabic. Okay, this is a misconception. What are you learning Arabic for? The only Arabic that anyone has to learn is Al-Fatiha. because the Fatiha, there is no prayer accepted without it. And you need to learn the tashahhud. But do you have to learn how to speak this slang Arabic that everybody speaks? No. Since you're a new convert, you should be focusing on what the Prophet said. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, teach them Tawheed. You should be learning what I teach here. Aqidah, not Arabic. Arabic is not a religion, it's a language. You can speak all the Arabic in the world and it's not going to save you from the hellfire. Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, they spoke the language of the Quran, but look where they are and where they shall remain. So whoever told you to learn Arabic told you wrong. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, learn Tawheed. Hold on for 1 second. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Morsi.
Alaikum assalam, Sister Laila. How are you?
Okay, we got a question I want to ask you. Have you ever heard of Dua el-Badr?
What?
Yeah, one of the questions here is from a sister. She said that all the Muslims are making Dua el-Badr. Like the yeah, al-Badr. You ever heard of that? What is that? Like the Battle of Badr.
Well, can you text me what she said?
Okay, hold on.
I don't understand. Okay.
That is better. Let me text it. Oh. Okay, hold on. Sheikh Morsi always want me to text it because of my pronunciation. Dr. Asim stopped teaching us tajweed, so my tajweed is getting bad. Okay, here it is. Let me text it to you now.
Okay.
Dua, let me see. She said Dua L-B-A-D-R. Okay, you see it?
Yes, I'm opening it now.
Okay.
No, I better no. I did not hear anything about that.
Yeah, that's why
I heard it now from you.
Yeah. Okay, it might be some innovation. That's why I'm thinking maybe she's Shiite or something.
Yeah, there is nothing.
Okay.
I never. There is nothing called that.
Okay, you hear that, sister? There's nothing called Dua el-Badr. So I don't know what that. That's probably some innovation. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I was calling you for. If I need you again, I'll call you back, inshallah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. So there you go. You got it from Sheikh Morsi too. So you got it from two scholars. There is no Dua el-Badr. There must be some innovation. Okay. But Sister Heidi, yeah, you don't have to learn how to speak Arabic. You should be learning Tawheed, what it means to believe in Allah. You should be learning the articles of belief, the articles of faith, and how to implement them in your life. I would strongly suggest that you attend my classes every day at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's what you should be learning. Allah is not going to ask you what language you speak because language came from Him. He's going to ask you, did you believe in Him? Did you obey Him? Did you worship Him the way He commanded? So the first thing that any Muslim should learn is Tawheed, Aqidah. Okay, you're in Canada? Good. Okay, I'm in America. So what part of Canada are you in? I think I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Where are you at? You're in Toronto? Where are you at? Yeah, it's 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I have another class. I'm teaching how to pray. I'm teaching the correct way to pray every on some days at 9:30 Eastern Standard. Okay, she's in Manitoba. What time zone is Manitoba? Somebody, can y'all look that up for me? What time zone is Manitoba, Canada? Can somebody look that up? Let me see.
It says Central Daytime.
Oh, so she's an hour behind me. Okay, so it would be 5:30 your time. So every day at 5:30, that's when I start. And then I have another class every day at 8:30 your time. Yeah, so try to join 5:30 and 8:30 every day, inshallah. You don't have to learn Arabic. PM, not AM, PM. Yeah, if you can, because Arabic, the only Arabic you need to learn is Al-Fatiha and the Tashahhud. Learn how to pray in Arabic. But anything else? You need to focus on Tawheed. And that's from the Hadith, whereas when the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent Mu'adh as the first ambassador of Islam to Yemen, he told him, teach the people Tawheed. And after they learn that, then teach them their obligations. Okay, so you should be focusing on Tawheed. Yeah. Because Arabic is of no value. Arabic is no different than French and English. I'm going to be honest. Arabic ain't bringing you closer to Allah. It's just a language. It's just talking, a language. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead, Sister Fahmy.
The next question is, does the man need two witnesses for marriage, or is this only for the women?
What? We talked about the conditions of a valid marriage contract. In order for a marriage to be accepted, number one, there must be a guardian for the woman. Number two, there must be male witnesses. And those witnesses are not for the woman. Those witnesses are, as the word means, I am a witness that y'all got married. The witnesses are for both of you. It's not just for the woman. Those two men are witnesses that you ain't lying, that you married this woman and you ain't having sex with her out of wedlock. So the witnesses are for both of you. It's not for just the woman. Okay? If you don't have two witnesses, you don't have a valid marriage. Period. Dot. How are you going to prove that y'all are not having sexual relations out of wedlock? That's the purpose of them being there, to witness the fact that you got married. And Allah knows best. Yeah. It's not for just a woman. That's for all of us. And Islam is all about witnesses. Allah teaches us to take witnesses for most things. That's for our protection, so people can't slander you and accuse you of doing something that's illegal. So we need witnesses to the wedding, not for the woman. It's for you too. Yeah, somebody can't accuse you of doing something out of wedlock. Yeah, okay. Next question. And remember, guys, before any of you get married, I always tell you, sisters and brothers, before any of you get married, you need to learn about marriage. Before we do anything in Islam, we need to educate ourselves about whatever it is. Before you get a divorce, learn about divorce. Before you get married, learn about marriage. Before you have a baby, learn about what's expected as a mother. We have to educate ourselves. We just don't jump up and do things. We have to learn about these things first. This is why our marriages don't work out. This is why nothing works out for us. We have to learn what's expected of us before we do it. Okay? Everybody understand that? And don't forget, everybody should buy that book, the book that Brother Daryl Kirk wrote that I'm teaching on Sundays, called The Sacred Bonds. That's buy that book. It summarizes marriage and what's expected of you as a wife, as a husband, and the conditions of the contract. And it's only $13. Brother Tashi, what do you mean for non-Muslims? We have nothing to do with non-Muslim weddings. We don't care about the non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are not Muslims, so what do we care about what they do? They got their own rules. Remember, guys, our laws and our rules are for us. Who cares about a non-Muslim? They got their own fiqh regulations. I don't know. Are we concerned with our Muslims? We have to do things the way Allah commanded us. That's what makes us better than a kafir. Kafirs will be in hell because they didn't do what Allah said do, because they didn't believe in him. We believe in Allah, so we're going to follow the laws of Allah. I don't care what non-Muslims do. That's their problem. They don't get married. Non-Muslims shack up. So that shouldn't be none of your concern. Yeah, that makes you better than them. Yeah. Everybody understand that? We're better than them because we abide by Allah's laws. They don't. Yeah.
The next question is, if my child is diagnosed with a chronic illness at age 9, what can I do for him during the month of Ramadan since I won't be able to teach him to fast?
Okay, well, don't worry about fasting. Okay, he's not obligated to fast and he can still remember Allah. He should be learning to make dua. He should know at 9 years old, he should know how to make dua. He can do everything except fast. He can pray. Even though he has a chronic disease, he still has to pray. He can read the Quran. He can go to the mosque. He can pray with the Taraweeh prayer. He can sit up and make dua in the middle of the night and in the end of the night. He can do everything but fast. So you teach him everything about Ramadan that you are learning. You teach him the same thing that I teach you. The only difference is he doesn't have to fast and you do. That's all. Just because I'm not obligated to do something doesn't mean that I don't know about it. Just Ramadan is the month of getting close to Allah. Even though I'm not fasting, I'm going to still do the deeds that are pleasing to Allah so as I can get close to him. So that child should still remember Allah and do everything except fast itself. Everybody understand that? And that's for everyone that falls in the category of chronic illness. And I just got a text message from another sister. Yes, I cannot believe we got some women that ain't made up their Ramadan yet. She's asking about Ramadan. That sister that just texted me, she said, Sister Laila, I did not make up my days from Ramadan, but I did fast the day of Arafat and I fast the day of Ashura. Well, guess what? Allah doesn't give you no credit for Arafat, Ashura, or anything else because those are not obligatory fasts. You don't have to fast on those days at all. Okay? You have to make up Ramadan, guys. You have to make up Ramadan. If you have not made up your days from Ramadan, Allah is not accepting any of your voluntary fasts. You're just starving yourself. You have to fulfill the obligations first, then the voluntary. We don't do the voluntary deeds first and then pick and choose what to do with the obligations. That's backwards. So for you women who have not made up your Ramadan, you better get busy. What you waiting on? Just like you could fast Ashura, why didn't you fast your Ramadan? That could have been a Ramadan day. That's the way Shaitan tries to dupe us. He'll make us put more precedence in the voluntary deeds and less emphasis on the obligatory ones. That's the way Shaitan takes us out of here. Yeah. Okay, this is a good question, Brother Tajri. Hold on for a second. I got my. Yeah. Brother Tajri said, Sister Laila, when we pray the Isha, the third of the night, do we need to be at the masjid? And I'm going to cover this. In fact, this is going to be the class next week for you brothers. And I want all you brothers listening to write it down. A man's prayer in the masjid is 25 times more superior than your prayer in your house. So it doesn't matter what time you're praying Isha, because you have until Fajr. You have until Fajr to make Isha, despite what the Mathabians say. So if you get off work, say for example, you were working overtime, and on your way home, you stop by the mosque to make Isha, you're getting more reward. So yes, your obligatory prayers should be prayed at the mosque if you are a man. It doesn't matter what time during that fixed time you're praying it. You understand, Tajri? And that's a very good question. And I'm going to go into detail about that. I'm going to give you guys examples from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself as to how he would delay. Because the Prophet used to delay the Isha prayer. Sometimes he would delay it to half the night. Sometimes he would delay it to the last third. And he always prayed it at the mosque. So yes, pray it at the mosque, Brother Tashri. And Allah knows best. Okay, let's see. Sister Goldie, last year we rescued my non-Muslim daughter. Now we have a grandbaby in our downstairs apartment. Girl, yeah, your hubby doing the right thing. Yes. The child, and this is a good question, the child is not held accountable. I want all you guys to understand that, because a lot of us have grandchildren. A lot of us have grandchildren out of wedlock. What does that mean? Our daughters or our sons went out and committed some sins. As a result of their sins, you looking at a horrible reminder for the rest of your life. That child does not bear the sin of its parent. That's still your grandbaby. You want to try to raise that grandbaby upon Siratul Mustaqim. So yes, you should spend time with your grandbaby, teaching your grandbaby the fitra, how to ignite its fitra, hoping and praying and that you can mold that grandbaby to grow up upon Islam. The child is not held accountable for what its parents did, guys. That's your grandbaby. That's you and your hubby's grandbaby. That's your grandbaby too, Goldie. Oh yeah. Y'all rescued the mom, and look what the mom did. Get that baby. Teach that baby Islam. Exactly. That's your grandbaby. Oh, yeah. We've all been there. Some of us still there. Some of us ain't never leaving there. Get them grandbabies. Try to raise them upon the true Islam. Oh, yeah, that's your baby, girl. Yeah. It ain't held accountable for what its crazy mama did. Yeah, keep it moving. Okay, this is a good question. Brother Tajri wants to know, do we need wudu for the Sunnah prayers? We're going to cover all of that next week too. Yes. In fact, that's the last thing we talked about, Brother Tajri. I think you missed the class. The last class we had, which was on that Wednesday, that's how I ended. You have to be in a state of purity in order to pray. Now, to make dua, to supplicate, to call upon Allah, or to remember Allah, you don't have to be in a state of purity. But for your prayers, any salats where you're going to actually go through the positions of praying, you have to be in a state of purification. So you have to have wudu. Yeah, you have to have wudu, Brother Tajri. And Allah knows best. I'm going to cover that on Monday. In fact, that's going to be Monday's class. The wudu, ablution, that's going to be our Monday class. Yeah, Goldie, that's your grandbaby, girl. You better raise that baby upon Sirat the Mustaqim. Oh, yeah. Get that grandbaby. And that's really sad. It's one of the signs of the last hour. A lot of the kids will be born out of wedlock, and the world is just a terrible place. Like I was telling that sister, all of us, the world is nothing but disappointment. All of us experience disappointment. Yeah. Any other questions in there, family?